Hi, my name is Rainz, and no, I am not changing anything in my driving again. No, I'm not doing that. Instead, what I am doing is getting back into habits that I've started to really focus on in order to drive well, if you get what I mean. Um, I think that I've realized that people may be making the same mistakes as I am, or as I have been making, and I hope that you don't make these same mistakes as well. So let's get started with the mistakes, and as we get started, I will also be very much racing, because I'm an absolute idiot, and I registered for a race. So let's have some fun with it. We're here. We're gonna do it. We're gonna enjoy it. So there might be moments in this video where you'll see some very hard cuts. In other parts of the video, you will see just continuous yapping. We'll see what kind of video this becomes. If you see this to be a very edited video, please hit the like button, because that means I had the motivation to edit this video for once. Let's try to do that. So the first thing that I've been doing, that actually I should have listened to people, listened to the videos that I've been watching around, listen to the videos that you've probably also watched. Don't stress it. Now, you can say that all you want, that's absolutely true. Not stressing it is difficult until you get an injury. So, a few weeks ago, I think about 4 or 5 weeks ago, during work, I got an injury to myself. I'm a chef, so I cut part of my thumb off. Not a part of my thumb off, part of the nail and then like the skin underneath it. I had to get stitches. It was a whole ordeal. It was a shit show. I did not like it. But that meant I couldn't put pressure on my I couldn't put pressure on my thumb. Now, there's one thing that is very important in sim racing, and that's your thumbs. Your thumbs do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of stuff. So, not having thumbs meant that I had to grip the wheel a lot lighter. And that was not easy. So, as a result, I started driving not for the sake of driving and not for the sake of racing. Oh yeah, we're on a fixed setup. Fuck me. Alright. I started driving for the sake of driving. That meant that I was relaxed. I didn't really care about where I finished. That, coupled with the fact that I have stopped putting like iRating and iRating changes, expected iRating changes on my standings, as you can see on the screen. You can't see any iRating changes. A lot of creators out there have that enabled so that you can see it. Now, I know I can put it up for you guys, but I am the kind of guy who will find ways to find out how much iRating I'm gaining. That's just inherently me, and that I will end up doing that. So to not do that, I just turn it off for everybody. If you want to see that, we can discuss it, but I will probably still say no. I'll veto you. Hey, I'm honest. I'm being honest here. So what can I expect, right? Like what did I expect? I didn't expect to be fast, but what ended up happening was, because I was so relaxed, I was driving in a way that I was not necessarily faster, but I was more consistent. I was more consistently clean, and more consistently able to set the same lap time over and over again. Because I was not going for anything unexpected. I was not trying to pull out lap time out of my ass for no reason whatsoever. I just was driving the car. And that's something that everybody tells you, but they don't explain how to do it. Now, I realized I could do it by injuring myself. I am telling you now, don't injure yourself for the sake of racing. That's just idiotic. Don't do that. But know that it did help me. That's all I'm gonna say. But try to just be relaxed. You know, sometimes you will find out what the limit of your body is by just driving everything. Now, the second thing that I did was actually just take my time learning tracks instead of just jumping in track to track to track. Sometimes it's better to just stick to one track, keep driving, enjoy the ride. Even though it might get boring for a little bit, at least you'll get better. Because the whole point is, by the time you get faster on a track, you'll have built up a very consistent technique. Like, for example, I got this rig. This rig is fairly new. This rig is about 4 months old now, I think, roughly. You fact check me on that, but I think about 4 months old. And before this, I was on a Placey challenge. Flimsy rig, nothing to do about. So I had to kind of relearn how I was driving. I had to get my first load cell, learn to trail brake again, because load cell trail braking is slightly different than linear pedals. Dialing in the force feedback to something that's predictable and nothing too insane. Just, hey, if it works, that's all about it. It shouldn't fight you. You have videos by Jaxer that tells you about force feedback. I use that kind of as a reference, so I'm not even gonna go out on my limb and say I know this and I can do this better than. No, I can't. He explained it a lot better than I can, and I ever will be able to, I think. So go check that out if you haven't already. And as you can tell, I'm driving while I'm just yapping away, and I'm not like losing my train of thought. And I'm not saying I'm driving fast. I'm definitely not driving fast. I'm just driving predictable. Also, it helps that I did 3 hours of this solo with the GT Sprint because I couldn't do the 24 hours one. And in that one, I was driving this exact track fairly consistently. I don't know if I have recorded, but it wasn't all that incredible, but it was good. We finished third in the end. But what I do want to preface is that I have been driving in a way that's very much now representative of what all the major creators, what everybody tells you to do. I have been doing that, but by no means did I do it consciously. I haven't consciously been like, oh, I need to do this better, I need to brake better, I need to go on throttle a little early, I need to be more consistent, I need to... You know, no, I've not been doing that. I've just been... The first step for me was being relaxed, and the second step was not caring. Focusing on having fun. Because if you have fun, you do well. In the end. It's kind of an automatic thing. Oh, turn one. So, yeah, there's that. Now, let's have some fun. I'm gonna keep going myself here now, and this is a very short video. I'm not saying this is gonna be a long video. It's a very quick video about just me just telling you again and again, be relaxed. It's hard. It's not gonna work for the first month. But at a certain point you will. Also, it does help, just as a bonus, it does help to learn the limits of your car. Learning where you can push, where your car's tires are on and off track. How early can you throttle out of corners without spinning the wheels too much and spinning out? what the limitations of your car are. Like, on a fixed setup, this car is an absolute boat. In the sense that you have to brake early, turn in early, and throttle early. You know, everything is a little earlier with this car. For me. Which is very important to keep in mind. What works for me will not necessarily work for you in terms of driving. One of my teammates, who I was going to do 24 hours of Spa with, which didn't happen for personal reasons, not for me, but for them, you know, it is what it is. One of them takes Eau Rouge in a completely different way than I do. And we are roughly close enough to each other. He's a little faster. But he can't drive a particular setup that I could drive. I could drive his setup, he can't drive mine. You understand what I mean? It's a very simple thing. You might think, but you have to learn to live with it. And that's basically learn to live with positions. Sometimes you realize someone is faster than you. You can decide two things. Fight him or let him pass. What you can also decide is, do I want to just let him pass, but do I want to let him pass in the hopes that we have fun together? Or do I want to defend it and potentially risk the guys behind catching? Like, when I do racing, right? When I race somebody, I check not just the guy behind, but the guy behind that. In the last 5 laps, have I been caught by the 2 guys behind? If it's only one guy, the other guy, it doesn't really matter. You know, it is what it is. But if I'm pulling away while the guy right behind me is catching me, I'm going to defend. And if by 3 laps time, if I realize, oh, I'm actually losing time to the guy 2 spots behind, okay, now that means I need to just let this guy pass. He's faster than me, and I need to just accept my position. That's basically it. Now, I don't even know how many tips that is. We'll say 5. Let me know if I got 5, or if I got to 2, or if I got to 3. Let me know. And with that, my name is Rainz, and I'll see you guys on Twitch, or on YouTube, or in the shorts, or on TikTok. I don't know how you found me. We'll see how you found me. Leave that in the comments as well. Peace out, and get out of here.